System. What is up with this connection today? Right. I trust that will be fine. Good morning and welcome to another One Mind meditation. For this week still, we have multiple different teachers to guide us into our daily meditation, and today is the turn of Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck wrote, I think, a very important book on mindset. And so let's get into her message for us today. Danae, a very good morning. It's great seeing you. Hello. Anthony, good evening, man. Awesome seeing you. The ways in which you can create and express yourself are limitless, and whether or not you manifest your limitless nature largely comes down to the view that you have of yourself. So today's message completely talks about the view that you have of yourself. What is the view that you have of yourself? Beatrix, very good morning. Sunmony, good morning. Hello, beautiful humans. The exercise in today's meditation compares how you see yourself to how you look at a flower. And I did bring an example in this morning. We had so much rain, so I couldn't find one that doesn't look battered, but still really beautiful. Isn't that true? So the exercise in today's meditation compares how you see yourself to how you look at a flower. Are you able to look at yourself through that same lens is the question we're asking. How you see yourself leads to having either a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. And Carol Dweck has spent a lifetime studying mindset. I'd like to share with you some of her thoughts. She says, for 20 years, my research has shown that the view you adopt of yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. That shouldn't really come as any surprise that how we see ourselves completely affect our lives. Annalie, very good morning, and I'm hoping that I can say hello to Dylan as well. Hello, happy seeing you. Charlene, a very good morning, great seeing you. The way you see yourself determines whether you become the person you want to be and whether you accomplish the things you value. How does this happen? How can a simple belief have the power to transform your psychology and, as a result, your life? So here's her view on a fixed mindset. She says, believing that your qualities are carved in stone creates an urgency to prove yourself over and over. If you only have a certain amount of intelligence, a certain personality, and a certain moral character, well, then you'd better prove to the world that you have a healthy dose of them. It simply wouldn't do to look or feel deficient in most of these basic characteristics. Comes from her book, this quote. Think of it like a wilting flower trapped in a pot too small. You believe that your abilities are limited to just this container, leading to a constant need to prove yourself. You fear appearing deficient, leading to an unhealthy obsession with proving your intelligence, your worth, and your character. Every situation becomes a trial, every outcome a judgment of your very being. This pressure always stunts your growth. Maggie, good morning. Michelle, good morning. Hello, beautiful people. Great seeing you. Carol suggests that you could cultivate a growth mindset. She says, in this mindset, the hand you're dealt is just the starting point for development. This growth mindset is based on the belief that your basic qualities and things that you can cultivate through your efforts. Although people may differ in every which way, in their initial talents and aptitudes, interests and temperaments, everyone can change and grow through application and experience. Anami, a very good morning, great seeing you. And in the growth mindset, picture a garden overflowing with diverse blooms. You see your talents as seeds waiting to sprout, nurtured by effort and experience. Challenges become opportunities to learn, setbacks are stepping stones. This open mind allows you to recognize your limitless nature and leads you to blossom in unimaginable ways. In summary, do you see yourself as a cut flower in a vase? Do you feel that this limited version of you inside this limiting container is the best you can ever be? And that slowly wilting is what your future looks like? Or do you see yourself as an ever-evolving garden, constantly sprouting new seeds for you to nurture into full bloom? And that your future still holds the promise of new expressions that you don't even know about yet? How you see yourself determines absolutely everything in your life. The view that you have of yourself sets the parameters for who you will become. And when you change the way you see yourself, everything changes. So if you're ready, let's dive right into today's journey. You can close your eyes and let's float away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale and let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine. Lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. With every breath out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. While you continue your full body breathing, feel your body rise with every inhale, and feel your body slowly fall with every exhale. Let's ask the question again. While you continue your breathing, How is it that you see yourself? Because how you see yourself determines everything. In this morning's message, there are two images. One image is of a cut flower in a vase. And clearly in this image, this is the best it can never be. A limited space, a limited expression, beautiful though it is, but no room for growth. And the future looks like slowly wilting. And in this morning's message, the other picture is of a garden. A garden that knows that there will be constantly sprouting new seeds. There will be constant new things, new thoughts, new ideas, and new experiences to nurture into full bloom. What does a garden exactly look like a year from now, 5 years from now? Well, it's never entirely certain. Sometimes a new growth looks the way we expected it to look. And sometimes the new growth is completely surprising. A garden always looks at least slightly different. A year and 5 years and 10 years from now. How do you view yourself? Because how you see yourself sets the parameters for the person you become. And the truth is, and I've seen this over and over again, if you are able to change the way you see yourself, and we are able to change that, then everything changes. When you see yourself differently, your future changes. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch and adjust and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left and forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. Lean your upper body over to the left. See if you can bring your left ear just a little bit closer to your left hip. Gently, very softly. And then lean your upper body to the right. See if you can bring your right ear just a little bit closer to your right hip. Gently, really softly. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be right now, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of this journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a really good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in. And hold your breath. As you release, make it a really long and really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips into your body. And help the softness to settle in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath. But hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you are invited to join us in a garden. What is the garden that comes to your mind right now? Take your next big breath. Is this garden just right outside your front door? Is this a memory of a really beautiful garden you've been in? Or is this just a fantasy garden in your imagination? Let's take a stroll through that garden together. Take your next big breath. Pick the most beautiful flower from this garden. Hold the green stem between your fingers and study this green stem between your fingers. How would you describe the stem of this flower you've picked? Is it an incredibly thin green stem? Is it thick? Is it hard and woody, or is it really soft and kind of hollow? Is the stem smooth or hairy? What does this green stem look like that you're holding between your fingers? Take your next big breath. follow this green stem up to the base of the flower and watch and see how this green stem has evolved into something that probably looks like a little green bowl, a little bowl of green petals, or two cupped hands of green fingers holding the base of the flower together. Take a moment to study that perfection. How beautiful is this design? Take your next big breath. And take a look at the underside of this flower, the underside of the petals. There's a very particular texture on the underside of the petals. And the color is often not the same as the front side either, or not exactly the same, a different shade. As you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, study the underside of the petals. Look at the veins transporting nutrients throughout the petals. Take your next big breath. Turn the flower over and trace with the tip of your finger the outside edges of the petals. Pay particular attention to how the petals are arranged around the center of the flower. What pattern is it that produced the shape the petals grow in? And for most flowers, we'd find a perfect geometric pattern that gave birth to the order of the petals. Take your next big breath. Now study the front-facing surface of the petals and just look at the perfection there. With your mind, use your finger to touch the texture of the front-facing part of the petals. How would you describe the color? Is it a completely uniform color, or are there different shades of color in the petals? Take your next big breath. And now bring your attention to the center of this perfect flower. The place where all of the reproductive organs of this flower is held. What does that center look like in the flower that you have picked? It could be soft and spongy, green or yellow, or it could be like a trumpet descending into the depths of the flower. Take a moment to marvel at this perfect design, how this flower, by just being completely itself, is in service to the world around it and being served by the world around it. Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath-holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, how softness slips in and settles in every fiber of your being. One more big breath in. And hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back, or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. Looking at this flower, it tends to be easy for any of us to marvel at this perfection, to be in awe of this perfect design. The reason for using this flower in the meditation is not so much to draw a direct comparison between yourself and the flower, but to question the lens through which you look at yourself. Because the lens that you use when you look at this flower is very quick to point out beauty, perfection, everything that's good about the flower. And even if it was pointed out to you that, well, here's a spot that didn't develop perfectly. This group of cells are all underdeveloped, so this petal is a little bit skew. You would still say, oh, but this flower is perfect in its imperfection. It was meant to be exactly like this. Now let's turn the lens on you. Do you use the same lens when you look at you? Or do you use some kind of a reverse of that lens where all you see are the flaws? All you see are the imperfections, and pointing out what is really good about you. Does that come really hard? I would love you to use the same lens that you used when you viewed the flower. Because through that lens, it will be obvious that compared to this flower that has only this one expression, nothing more, also perfect in that expression, true. But compared to this one expression, you are obviously limitless. The ways in which you have expressed yourself in the past are so many you can probably not remember them. And the ways in which you can still create in the future might still even be unknown to you. How do you view yourself? because that shapes who you become. Do you view yourself as a cut flower in a vase and all that's left is to slowly wilt? Or do you recognize in you the whole garden? Many more seeds will sprout, and you will nurture them into full bloom. And what exactly this expression looks like in the future is not quite sure. But isn't that exciting? We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this image of a constantly evolving garden. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for getting better at moments of deep appreciation for the smaller things, really feeling an expansion through appreciating the beauty of a flower. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to recognize in me my limitless nature. And that doesn't mean that if we are limitless, we should all be like a Steve Jobs or an Elon Musk that changes the world, but just realizing that we are constantly growing, constantly evolving, and constantly producing new seeds of thought, idea, and possibility. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for joining us for a stroll through that garden. Thank you for being open to recognize the garden in you. Hey, Pepe, good evening to you. It's great seeing you live with us. Thank you, Danae. Thank you, Beatrix. It's beautiful seeing you all here. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anami. Thank you, Annalie. Thank you, Sunmarie. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Charlene. Wishing you all a really beautiful day. The way we see ourselves and the way we choose to speak to ourselves completely shape who we become. Lots of love to you all. Ciao, ciao.